All right, what's going on, everybody? In today's episode, what we're going to do is we're going to address our Week 1 college football takeaways, go over all the big games that took place and some things we might have just been interested in. I guess lead with the big game. LeVar, how did you feel about watching Arch out there with Texas versus Ohio State? Were you disappointed?
Pissed me the fuck off. I root for this motherfucker whole time. I was like, go Arch, go Arch. Whole first half, I'm like, go. Then the second half, fucking finally start throwing, intercepted. I'm like, no! Like, fuck, Arch, calm the fuck down. I was going for Archman like crazy. I'm a big Archman fan. I'm an old Manning fan. Like Peyton, I like Eli. So I'm going for Arch. And I want Arch to do great. Eli's not overrated. Eli is great. I think Eli has better. Eli has 2 fucking Super Bowls. Eli needs to be in the Hall of Fame more than Peyton, in my opinion.
No.
Tom Brady twice. When he beat the undefeated Patriots, right there, Arch Manning. No. I was going for Arch Manning. Like they weren't throwing that ball at all. And then one dude said, he was like,
because he was throwing the ball in the dirt. They did pass the ball. He was nervous as shit because, like, to be fair, I don't think the Saiyan kid would have did that well if it would have been in Texas. Home field advantage matters like a motherfucker. That's why that first round of playoffs, whoever has the home field advantage seed has a significant advantage on whoever, especially you from a big school. So, like, yeah, how many people can that motherfucking stadium fill? I think that bitch fits like close to 100,000 people.
That motherfucker was booming.
Mm-hmm.
They were hyping that bitch. And I was like, that's the whole point I wanted. I wanted Arch Manning to come out in Ohio State and throw the fuck up, yo. Oh, God. They didn't do it. I was like, man, I wanted to put like 30. Just boop, boop, boop. I was like, fuck, Arch, do it. He finally threw it, and that fucking cornerback, that cornerback is good as hell.
Yeah.
Good fucking defense.
Yeah, they transferred
Their defense is good as fuck. That dude, I remember when he threw that interception, he was behind. That dude was open. Next thing you know, whoop, out of nowhere.
But it was also like, but that was also the corner setting him up. Like at certain points, the wide receiver has to know how to flatten out a route or whatever. The wide receiver's still running upfield. The corner's already started undercutting that mud. He's just setting you up.
Yep.
And he couldn't.
He saw it. He immediately saw it fast. He was like, "Oh shit, he about to get."
And the downside of like that wide receiver is Wingo. Wingo is fast as shit. He's talented, really fucking fast, but he can't stop and move. Like he's still learning how to play receiver. He can run, but he's still learning how to play receiver. Like if you can stop and start, it's so underrated. Like Devontae Adams ain't running past anybody unless he just stop and start quicker than you, and then they get around you. That's it. So, but yeah, I looked it up. Ohio State Stadium fits 102,780 people in it.
Wow, motherfucker. That shit was hype.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't like how Texas was fucking their plays were called.
Yeah. Sarkisian was very conservative to me. That was something when I was watching.
And then in the game, they're like, "Oh, now let's do it." And I'm like, "This is why you should be playing the whole fucking game, man."
But they couldn't
until college football always does that shit.
But they couldn't until Art settled down. He couldn't have made that throw early on. Joe Class, my favorite college football person at all, and he's associated with Fox, so like I'll watch that. I watched his show earlier today, getting ready for this, and about all the games and everything. So like he's always.
Games? Like
Ohio State, Texas, because he was calling the game, and so he was going over that. Like same thing. He was throwing the ball on the ground. The first few game plays, he was doing that. Arch is going to be fine. Like the game came down to, forgive me for jumping back and forth. I said the thing about the Virginia Tech game. I guess we'll get back to Virginia Tech. But that game came down to 4th and 1 at the goal line. One team got a big old running back that went over the top on 4th down. The other team called a quarterback sneak on 4th down. It didn't work.
They called a fucking quarterback sneak. They called a fucking dumbass tush push, and it was the dumbest shit I've seen in my life.
That's technically a quarterback sneak.
It was the worst tush push I've ever seen ever.
I mean, he's not the biggest. He's not the biggest.
Down. They're like, what are you doing here?
He's not the biggest guy, and
they thought this was gonna work.
He's not the biggest guy.
Who
and the Ohio State defensive line was whipping them boys all day up front.
against Ohio State. Let's do a good old tush push with Arch Manning. And
they should have called the exact same play that Ohio State called and ran the ball to running back again over the top.
No fucking shit. That's what I would have done.
That's the difference in the game, though.
But fucking tush push.
That is literally like people are so reactive about the outcome. It's a fucking tie game if they did the exact same shit. They got to the exact same point.
Had a good drive. It was a hell of a good drive. Arch Manning did. You let Arch Manning do what he was. Arch Manning can run. Arch Manning can throw. When he started getting comfortable, he started running around and doing what he wants to do. Then you could tell he was like he's starting to come out the screen, play action, boom, boom. He's
going a while to relax.
Yeah, you could tell he was getting comfortable.
Mm-hmm. It took him a while to relax.
Arch Manning can run. I didn't realize how he could run. He went slow.
But I was telling you that they should have called more design run plays. If you look at the game, he started 2 games last year. One of them he had a 70-yard run. And that he's not slow. His father was the wide receiver. His brothers were the quarterback before, so he can throw and run.
I think you need to start Arch Manning running, play action, throw.
Joe Clatt had a real good point though. He was talking about watching that game that there was a play early in that game that it was a read option pass, and he was like, Arch Manning probably has never made that bad of a read in his entire life, where he's like, there's 2 guys running right up the middle, right at the running back, and he still gave it to the running back when he was like, there's 2 tight ends open and he could have ran. He was so fucking like amped up at the beginning of the game, I think.
And don't want to mess up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and now it's like, all right, Arch, get out of your head, go throw it. And first throw.
That's a tough situation. You're going against the number 3
You're
team.
Arch fucking Manning.
You're
predicted.
Don't care. Nobody else started.
You're Arch Manning. You're going your way. Number 3 team, Ohio State. Your name. You're Manning. You're projected. They're telling you you're going to be number 1 pick in a draft next year.
Probably still will be. He probably still will be. It's like I don't know how many
years old.
How many quarterbacks? Like I think Carson Beck was the only quarterback that might have done well in that situation. Thrown out there because of the other games he's played in college football where that shit might not bother him. And like that motherfucker played against Georgia. I think they lost that game, but they came back. Like he's been in some actual wars, and so I think he's probably the only one.
That's what I compare. I'm comparing Arch Manning to Notre Dame's quarterback. Because that motherfucker came out playing when they really needed to, and he came out really producing when he needed to. And he took over the game. It was like he took over the game by himself and then came back. Arch Manning should have done that shit.
No, it's completely 2 different animals, though. One guy was going against Miami.
He was at Miami.
I got you. At Miami. It ain't the Orange Bowl no more. They play in the Pro Stadium, and they ain't been loud in fucking years. Ohio State, though, on the other end, they going. It's a way harder place to play at Ohio State than at Miami. And Ohio State's defense is better than fucking Miami. Miami's defensive line, thank God, they finally good. I think Miami's going to make the playoffs. Good. I think they're gonna make the playoffs this year. So, but do you think their corners is doing what Ohio State corners are doing out there?
No.
And they got Matt Patricia.
All on them bitch asses.
They also got Matt Patricia as their defensive coordinator.
That's Patricia as their defensive coordinator.
Yeah. I don't think that's fair. I think at the end of the year, like some teams are going to catch up because some of the stuff was just little nuances they were doing. Like this was the coolest thing I saw in the game. I haven't heard anybody else talk about this shit. Is at least outside the broadcast guy, like right after it happened, is the motherfuckers were like he was lined up like he was going blitz and shit, and then at the snap of the ball he would stop, take a step back, and then blitz again, and the lineman just stopped looking at him. He got a sack on that play, and they were like, yeah, that's probably the NFL nuance right there. I was like. That's some shit that like halfway through the year, like if they play Texas again, that shit won't work again. They're gonna tell, hey motherfucker, watch his ass. but what in the game?
Did you know that Patricia was their fucking defensive coordinator the whole time? I didn't know that till the game.
I heard like fucking yeah. And so, like, just from a scheme standpoint, that Joel Klatt was over there saying that, gosh, that Sarkisian should have had more pre-snap motion, because after the game was over, at the interview, Sarkisian was saying that, man, that they did a great job disguising their coverages and like showing something and rotating right like at the last second the entire way through there. So they were saying that they probably should have put more people in motion and try to get them to tip their hand a little earlier to slide like the scale, but they were just lining up. And so the defense knew what they were lined up in, so they could just rotate to something else. But a lot of times, if you rotate, you make them adjust with you.
Joe Clapp was on the broadcast.
He was on the broadcast. He's one of the people announced. It was him and Gus.
So he's probably the one, the motherfucker. Because I remember the other dude kept being like, I don't know which one. I didn't know Joe Clapp was, but one dude kept being like, man, they should throw the ball more. They should do this more. And then he threw the interception. And Joe Clapp was like, see, it's not that easy. The quarterbacks are this well. That was Joe Clapp then.
Yeah, because Clapp was a quarterback.
Okay,
Clapp was a quarterback, and it's Gus.
There's nothing downfield. Their quarterbacks are real on fire. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That makes more sense.
He's by far my favorite.
I was saying literally talking just like that other guy was talking. I was like, yeah, he's right. and then he threw an interception, and I was like, oh, the other guy might be right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joe. That's Clapp.
How many games you saw this weekend were like boom, 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 and then later on it was like, oh, why y'all start doing this?
Some of them, but so, sometimes it's like just because they get into like the 2-minute drill and they start playing faster. And when you get in a 2-minute drill, you don't allow the defense to set up. It's like, gosh, what was that?
Carolina's college football plays like pussies.
Oh man,
Miles band. They play like pussies.
A lot of them do.
Even that Miami game. Miami could beat the fuck out of it. They should be. They shouldn't. No, they shouldn't came close. Then they started, hey, let's run the ball now. Let's start put the clock down and stuff. Like, no, keep going at these niggas, man.
No, they don't like when it's the quarterback situation. There's not as much trust for the quarterback. That's in general, that's what it is. But it was like watching that fucking South Carolina game. Oh my God, I hated watching that fucking game. Every play for Virginia Tech, they would stop and look back at the sideline. I'm like, every fucking play.
I didn't like that quarterback. The quarterback, I was like, I don't like the quarterback. Virginia Tech fucking sucks.
I mean, but what made the game interesting, the only reason why I put it on the list, one, it was one of like the few games that was played yesterday. Sellers looks like a grown ass goddamn man, even though he didn't look like he really saw the field. Like he played like Russell. We're gonna get to that shit later on today, but he was outside only. He was not looking anywhere else but like to the outside, but they say that's the safest place. I know they were saying it before the other game started that a lot of times the college coaches early on in the game, they don't like to call any passes over the middle of the field because if the quarterback is amped, it's an interception. And so they like to call everything outside to start the game. That's what they were saying. And it looked like that motherfucker was happening. Joel Klatt, I was watching the big noon show. Joe Klatt was saying that, and also like I was watching like the Fox.
It's got Mark Sanchez and all them motherfuckers. And Mark Ingram and them. Yeah.
The one I was watching, it had Mark Ingram. It didn't have Sanchez, but it had Leinart and what's the fucking?
Then they put that motherfucking Dave Portnoy on that motherfucker, whatever that fucker.
I'm not sure who that guy is, but I know they had.
He was wearing a hoodie.
That's not the one I was watching. What's the old coach for Ohio State?
Urban Meyer.
Urban Meyer was on there.
Yeah, Dave Portnoy was on there. That shit. Yeah.
Maybe it was you. I don't. Yeah, there was one guy on the corner like an announcer, and Brady Quinn. So they weren't bad like actual people. Like honestly, I like Mark Ingram out there being like the black person in the middle, even though he wears his glasses and shit. Like I like Mark Ingram.
Paul, so you watch that shit instead of Lee Corso's last broadcast?
I was going back and forth. Lee Corso looked like he's missing a few screws. He's like, and
yes, we understand that. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about Lee Corso.
God bless him.
Respect,
God bless him. Forgive me. God bless him.
You gotta relax.
But for entertainment, I'm studying for the bet. I'm getting ready for the game. I want information. I'm like, forgive me, Lee. I don't have time. Forgive me, Lee.
It's the last time you're gonna see Lee Corso on TV. Hey,
I got to see it because he didn't do his call until right before the game started. I got to watch all of the other one first, and then when they flipped the TV channel back over to this one, they were both in the same stadium. They were both in literally the same area. So like I was watching both of them. And I ended up, I apparently got better information because they was calling out what the fuck was happening in the game.
And they caring about, you're right. I didn't have to see it. It's Lee Corso.
Mm-hmm. I turned to that shit for a second. Forgive me. God bless Lee Corso. God bless him. I don't want to say like anything like that, but there becomes a time when people are too old to do certain positions. Like,
I understand what you're saying.
If you had a school bus driver pull up and they was like Lee Corso, you gonna put your kids on the bus? No.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I think it was done last year, but I'm good.
That's my point. That's my point. Like, forgive me for this, but like I'm a nerd over like the information. And the minute they took him off, like, okay, now these motherfuckers give me something now. God dang it. Shit.
You're right. I'd rather listen to them than the Big Noon.
I mean, at least for that game, like I don't know which one I started with.
Nick Saban, Kirk Herbstreit, Pat McAfee.
Depends on what they're talking. Like Pat McAfee's just entertaining, but I don't get the best information from him. I like watching his show because they got like
Kirk Herbstreit and Nick Saban there.
His show Darius, he's one of my favorite like defensive back breakdown guys. He also does NFL matchup show. That's one of my favorite shows. I'll be recording that all the time. He also does that from time to time. And so I like his information. But I don't know. They're way more like Disney for me. I don't always love their information.
I don't fucking like Urban Meyer, so that's why I don't like the Big Noon.
I don't like Urban Meyer either. But Joe Klatt is my favorite.
Mark Adrian.
Any other takeaways you got from that South Carolina, Virginia Tech? Well, I guess I'm going to leave with this one. Sellers, they were saying he might be the second overall pick. I think it's going to be Carson Beck by the end of the year. If Ward looked all great in that offense, I think Carson Beck going to look great too as well. But Sellers is a grown ass fucking man. Like that run that he had to ice the game, where he just like shook the guy off of the sack and then just shook the other guy off of him and just kept going. It's like, oh, when he takes off and runs, it's a problem. If he gets past
this fucking quarterback class that's coming out, that's a real good.
I wouldn't say they're great because he can run.
I don't say great, but I'm saying it's way better last year.
My
There's a
issue
whole
with
lot of
Sellers,
quarterbacks coming out.
As an athlete, Sellers is a whoa. If he goes to the right team, he could be great, but he
don't know back up and
he don't know how to throw the ball.
He should be a starter.
He don't know how to throw the ball. If he get drafted in the first round, which he's probably gonna get drafted in the first round, he's gonna have to start early. So it depends on where he goes, because like I think he still can't see the field. I saw that fucking touchdown pass to Harper about to happen because I watched. He's lined up too close. Because most of the game they had a safety help over the top, but now like they're in these run situations because they're trying to get the ball back, and I'm like, why is he up with the fastest guy in college football? That's number 8. Is the fastest guy in college football, and like, boop! I saw the minute that stuff happened. I saw him stepping up into it. That's the best throw he had. I was like, oh, that was mad. I had to bet for 100 yards. 99.
I didn't read it, but I was sitting there watching it. I was real bored. So I was sitting there. I was watching on my phone, and I'm like, yo, I need them 8 to get 100 yards. He only got this much yards. Then I saw, he's about to get it right now. Boom, boom. I went up crazy. I jumped up. I said, what's up, LeVar? I'm like, fuck, man, that was not enough. Got 99.
It was like a 99.
I just got that shit.
Man, what makes it worse is he had a touchdown call back in the first half for a 9-yard reception. He had it. Carter was like, this hand took 2 steps in the end zone. While he's falling down out of bounds, the corner knocked the ball out of his hands, and they said it was incomplete. I was like, that's bull. He was already out of bounds. He was already out of bounds. That was a 9-yard catch. Like luckily I missed another one on that parlay, but I was like, I knew he was gonna catch a bomb. So I knew he was gonna catch a fucking bomb.
College football, man. College football pisses me off. Because it's like I love the fucking NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just watching. It's like watching college basketball to you. You don't like watching my college basketball because in the NBA. I don't like college football because I know in the film. It's the same way. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did I do this way? It's the same
thing. They piss me off, but I do find at least towards the end of the year, there are some teams that operate like a pro team, like the Georgias, they're consistent. And so because of them, like I'm okay with it. Like typically I'm pretty good at calling the playoffs. Once I've watched all year, like I called most of the playoff games last year. I think I got all but maybe one right, like all the way through that shit. That was the only one I lost. That was it.
Yeah, I was like, you call Notre Dame, but that's fine.
No, I was calling them individually, but I called them to beat Penn State. I called that game. I was just calling how it was very. I thought we'll get to this shit later, but hell, I guess I didn't put a segment in for it. I hated how they fucking structured the playoff last year. It was stupid as fuck. I'm glad they changed it. And so, they made the people that had buys conference champions. There's no fucking reason Boise State should have had a fucking bye last year. While Oregon's the number 1 seed, they had to play Ohio State. I'm like, if I was Oregon, I would be pissed off about this shit. Absolutely pissed off. But that's also why I knew Ohio State was going to win a championship last year, because they were the only motherfucker that actually played real people. They played Oregon, then they had to play Texas just to get to the back to back. And Penn State had to play Notre Dame, and I don't think either motherfucker are really that good. They keep talking about. They keep talking about how. I don't think they suck, but their
defense was a lot better than I thought it was.
Yeah, both of them have good defense. Definitely last year they had Carter on Penn State. Their defense was good, but the quarterback sucks to me, Atler. They say he gonna go in the first round. If he gets drafted in the first round, y'all he sucks under pressure. He's terrible under pressure. It's just like because he can throw the ball far, we love him. Even if fucking an NCAA's a 90-something overall and has like a terrible throw under pressure rating. I'm like, it don't even make sense of that. It does not. It's like, under 80. It's like a terrible fucking throw under pressure rate. Not to say the video game is everything, but even they telling on your ass. All right, what's one of the other games to get into? Oh shit, how you feel about Alabama, Florida State?
I like Florida State. I told you I like Florida State. It's the point that I like the fucking Boston College quarterback. That now at Florida State, Tommy Castellano.
I don't fucking like him.
I like that. I like he was at Boston College. I hated when Belichick not Belichick. What's the fucking Boston College coach?
I don't know his name. O'Brien.
Yeah, when he benched his ass, I was like, what the fuck?
But he's not a quarterback. But he's not a quarterback. He's like
football.
He's a college high school quarterback. He do that shit. Where you just give your best guy the ball, he run there and play. Look, it's like watching a high school game. I hate watching high school football. I don't like watching it.
That's what it is.
I like watching motherfuckers with a downfield pass game. I don't like watching HBCU football. Forgive me if I'm biased on that, because motherfuckers can't throw the ball. I like watching the passing game down the field. Like that's what I enjoy about the sport. That mixed with everything.
You get your best player and you tell your best player to do win the game.
I just hate watching that shit. Like you said, they ran the same play like over and over again. They kept doing the same shit.
Over again. I was like, and that motherfucker's gonna stop it? Let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
Alabama was like, that motherfucker was doing like Johnny Manziel out there on Alabama.
He won't pass it like that. They were just running the ball line.
Yeah, that's what Johnny.
Johnny Manziel.
Slower.
Yeah, but Johnny Manziel also had Mike Evans out there. They could throw the ball too, so it's a little different.
He only threw the ball to Mike Evans. And you talk like Johnny Manziel had like 5 yards.
Mike Evans used to have 2 touchdown games, which is huge in college football. He was 6'5", 240. Playing receiver in college football. That's a grown ass
Johnny
man.
Manziel in college football.
Mm-hmm.
It's not unfair. That's unfair.
Johnny was good. Johnny they didn't call him Johnny Football for nothing. But in general, my biggest takeaway from that game was Alabama's over, and coaching means a shitload in fucking football in general, but I would argue even more in college football. Nick Saban get there, people forget Alabama wasn't good before Nick Saban got there. I think we forget that shit.
How do you get the job if it wasn't for high? If you go keep winning all the time, Mike Krzyzewski won all the time. He didn't get fired. How does it come available? Obviously, you must suck. The team's not good. So obviously,
I mean, he got the job. He got the job because he was on Washington. He was on Washington when they had Michael Penix that year when they played real good.
How great was Georgia before Kirby Smart?
No. Yeah, that's why coaching matters. But that's why, like, the Alabama coach now used to be the head coach for Washington. He's the guy that took over after Nick Saban. But they were good because of the defense. They were good because they were the most prepared team out there. They did not look like the most prepared team out there. That Florida State coach, but Florida State did go undefeated 2 years ago. So
I don't know who the fuck their quarterback is. He don't even seem that good.
I mean, but Alabama, you talking about Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but their offensive line was getting whipped too, so you can't even evaluate his ass. And they had the scrambling quarterback. Florida State still got athletes now. They still got money. They still can pay to get people to come down there. That's like I said, they went undefeated 2 years ago. They just didn't make the playoff because Travis got hurt. The quarterback got hurt, so they didn't put him in the playoffs. And they put Alabama in instead of them, so they feel like this was a revenge game because Alabama got in the playoffs that year instead of them. That's all they were talking about before the game started. All right.
That's the point that motherfucker started talking that shit in the beginning. I was like, oh, that motherfucker about to go off.
I don't know. I guess the last thing I say about the earlier game, another thing that really made that got South Carolina, Virginia Tech interesting because the South Carolina head coach is the son of the long-time Virginia. Yeah,
he was there. He was rooting for his son. He had his son Alpha's on.
Yeah, too. Yeah. But they said when they were playing, because it was at Virginia Tech, so while they were playing a Virginia Tech song, he said it wasn't at Virginia Tech, was it? Where was it at? It was a neutral. It was in Atlanta, I think. It was.
Yeah, that was a neutral one.
Yeah,
that was one.
Yeah, but they were playing the fight song for Virginia Tech and shit, and he said he took off his coach's headset and listened to it for a second, just sucked up like the memories from being a little kid. I thought that was a good moment.
Shut the fuck up.
It was like I'm sentimental and shit. Okay, they maybe call it getting old, man. Your kids bring it out of me so much. What do you mean? All right. The next game on the list. Let's go to LSU Clemson.
I didn't watch none of this game, so.
All right, well,
I was at my high school reunion.
I'll give a quick takeaway from that one. I called LSU to win. LSU could have won by a lot more. They called back a touchdown too as well in this game, but I thought this one was a legit. I thought that the Harbor one, I thought that should have been a touchdown, but the guy called it, and as he was coming down another time, the guy smacked the ball out of his hand, but he had already crossed the line. I thought the play was over once they crossed the line, but anywho.
I know LSU won, but what was the score?
It was 17-10, but like I said, it could have been another touchdown. And they started playing a lot more conservative after they got the lead.
How many touchdowns did K get? Touchdowns?
Who?
K, whatever. Clemson's quarterback.
No, they only scored one touchdown.
What was his stats?
Not well. The offense still sucks.
The offense saying this motherfucker's the fucking top 10.
He's not good. He's not fucking good. The offense is still bad. All right,
I keep being like they say every year, and I'm like, what are they seeing when I'm not seeing?
It's not. He was 50% passing. He was 19 for 38 for 230 yards, one interception.
19 for 38.
Yes, 50%. Yeah, and one interception. LSU shut down the running game. Last year, they ran the ball with Phil Maffa, who's on the Dallas Cowboys now, a lot. The team was dependent on Phil Maffa, in my opinion. He ain't there no more. And the backup running back that replaced him only had 16 yards rushing. And when they couldn't run the ball, but to be fair, his best receiver didn't play, but I don't think his best receiver is that well anyway. Antonio Williams didn't play in that game. LSU early on, Grant Nussmeier, he was 28 for 38. Yeah, he was 28 for 38, 73%, same yardage, 230, but he had a touchdown. Like I said, it could have been 2 touchdowns. The receiver just didn't go to the ground with the ball. Durham, they had a better running game. They had a rushing touchdown, pass touchdown, and rushing touchdown. But yeah, for K, he didn't throw it. It was a running touchdown by the running back.
So you're telling me you got a top quarterback who ain't fucking them.
And they were at home. LSU beat them at their house. So it's even worse. Even better win for LSU. Had the best overall win, I would say, of the weekend because they beat Clemson at Clemson. Although I don't agree with Clemson being ranked that high or whatever, but Clemson going to beat most of the team. The quarterbacks aren't that fucking good, but they're going to beat everybody just because they're in the ACC, and like they're going to beat Florida State when they play Florida State. It's going to be Miami and Clemson in the ACC championship. Mark my word.
Miami, Florida State.
No, Miami and Clemson. Clemson is Florida State. I like them, but how they play, that's not beating Clemson.
I think Clemson time was done after fucking when Sunshine Trevor Lawrence came out left.
I don't like the offense. They don't have that good of an offense. They've only won with two of like the best fucking quarterbacks in college football with Deshaun and fucking Sunshine. That's it. It's the only time he won shit over there. His defense is good always though. His defensive line is really good. He's got two pros on the D line. So they're going to beat Florida State. They got the best defensive tackle prospect in the game. His last name is Wood. So yeah, they're going to be.
Nussmeier is better than them. Cade.
Yes, he is. He's a much better passer. He has a chance to be a pro. I mean, there's a debate for the college game because Cade can run, but he's not that great of an athlete for the pros. Cade is a college quarterback to me. He's not a pro quarterback to me.
Who?
Cade.
Cade is a college.
He's a college quarterback. He's not a pro quarterback.
Oh, okay. Garrett Nussmeier is a fucking NFL. He can be an NFL.
He has a chance to be at least a backup.
He does. Well, if he stops fucking down, sometimes he would actually be like overdoing or doing too much.
Yeah, I mean, he has a chance to be a backup. I can see him as like a long-time like NFL backup. He looks like that to me. I see a position for him. I don't know if he'll be a first rounder unless they go crazy this year. So we'll see.
I'm not a big fan of how. I don't like K's fucking last name. I don't like how he looks in real life. His face.
If LSU is going to do it, LSU got a tough schedule. LSU's schedule is tougher than Alabama's in my opinion, and they had to play Alabama. They had to play Florida. Alabama don't have to play Florida, and they play Ole Miss. I don't think Alabama plays Ole Miss either, and they play South Carolina. Alabama does play South Carolina, and they play Texas A&M. And Arkansas. And Arkansas is not ranked right now, but they got the same quarterback from last year who runs. And Oklahoma.
They don't got to play Texas. I don't think this is that bad.
They don't have to play Texas, but it's a hard run though. It's a lot of hard games.
I only see South Carolina might be hard. Florida maybe.
Florida tough.
I think it can be Alabama. I think it can be A&M. That's about it.
At least they got them at home. They get Florida at home, so they're going to win that game. They have a really good home field advantage.
And South Carolina at home. And Texas A&M at home.
Ole Miss on
Alabama
the road.
Away.
Ole Miss on the road and Alabama on the road. Tough.
I think it'd be Ole
Miss. And they go to Oklahoma at the end of the year, too. Tough.
The way,
tough schedule.
Y'all couldn't really stop that Tommy dude. He can throw better. Alabama didn't seem all that great.
Got you. That's tough. But that guy can run. They're not going to play the same way. That's tough. Nussmeier is not mobile. He is a pocket passer. That's tough.
They don't suck though.
He don't suck.
I don't see that.
He don't suck, but that's like he just has way more challenging games on his schedule than most teams. So that's just his disadvantage.
You just already beat. You just beat the highest ranked person on your whole schedule at their house in your first game, and you're probably unprepared as then at the moment.
Just because Clemson was ranked number 4 before the season started doesn't mean that they should have been. Okay? They didn't play nobody last year. They didn't play nobody last year. And like I said, they lost their best players in my opinion. So I don't see it. I don't see it. Texas did get a more favorable schedule, but no, they got to play Georgia though. Texas got the Georgia game and A&M at the end of the year too as well. They play Florida at Florida.
What the fuck about Florida?
They got pros. Like I said, they did not lose a game that Lagway played all the way through last year. The quarterback is going to go pro eventually. He's a big boy, true sophomore. So that's the quarterback is going to keep him in the game. But I think Texas just has too much talent on defense, so they should be able to slow him down to a degree there. All right, let's move on to the next game. We talked about that one. Notre Dame, Miami. I'm biased, so I'm going to start on this one. Miami is going to the playoff. Miami is going to the playoff. Number one, they're in the ACC, which is easy as hell. They don't play Clemson. So it's like Miami.
You have to play Clemson eventually, don't you?
Only in the ACC championship. Only if they make the ACC championship, and that's it.
Well,
that's if they get there. And hopefully they fuck up and do some other shit. Something happen or whatever. Really, they could beat them though.
You trust?
They could beat them.
You trust
because of the D line, because they can't pass the ball, because our defensive line, I think we get a chance.
You trust garbage Carson Beck?
Carson Beck is not garbage. He had a bad year last year, and also Georgia didn't have talent at the wide receiver position.
Bad year last year, and now he's going to have a great year this year.
There are a lot of quarterbacks don't look as good when their receiver leaves. Example, Drake May. Still got drafted, but the year before he had a pro wide receiver, but that guy left, or it looks like Walker or something like that. When that guy left and went pro, Drake made it look so fucking good the next fucking year. And Carson Beck went from having solid receivers. Well, the minute Ladd McConkey and Bowers left his ass, he didn't look so fucking good. But he was gonna be a top pick when he was throwing the ball to McConkey and Bowers.
I want to see Carson Beck in a situation they down.
That happened last year. He came back in the Alabama game. Then they still lost the game because Ryan Williams made that crazy ass spin move, but they were getting busted. They were down 3 touchdowns in that game. And he took them back in the motherfucking game, and that receiving core was not very talented at all.
I also think this game more of them seeing Miami for the first time, and that fucking freshman run wide receiver. That took them out of that took them out of that. They didn't know what to do. They changed up. You can see they changed up in that second half.
Nickname Baby Jesus out there, Tony.
You can tell, you can see they changed up.
I watched the ACC network probably for the first time all year just because I was watching before that game started, and it was Eddie Royal. Remember old Eddie Royal played for Virginia Tech? I can't remember what he played for in the pros, but Broncos, yeah. But Eddie Royal, he's an announcer out there. I don't know who like the big offensive lineman was out there, but Eddie Royal was talking about it. It was like, yeah, you know what his nickname is? They call him Baby Jesus. I was like, that boy good. Then you don't just call nobody gets a nickname, especially in college, Jesus, unless you good. Don't nobody play around with that.
This is another person from Miami that's giving him this. Who giving him this nickname?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, if the team calls you that as a freshman,
I do think he's good.
You gotta be, and we saw it. That was versus Notre Dame. That was his first time.
They had to stop.
Yeah,
they really had to stop everything. They had to put their best cornerback and follow him everywhere around.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was that they obviously didn't plan for that motherfucker at all.
The touchdown pass that he caught was so nuanced. They said this like on the live cast. The guy from Texas didn't know how to do this. Like when he saw his quarterback scrambling, he flattened the route. It was a go route, and he did it like without thinking about it, and just flattened it, made himself open. And Carson Beck was a hell of a fucking throw on the run over there. Not to mention the other guy, CJ.
That freshman, CJ, yeah, he good.
That catch too.
The freshman, it has to be. He is your best route runner. That boy can run routes. He good.
The first catch he had, I think, was like the when he hit him in on the little zig roll, and it came. It was on
he did perfect. He went.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
And it was a third down. They went to him on a third down too, so I was like, okay, all right now.
He did an easy work. It was easy work to do that. I was like, his footwork, everything about it.
And then when he caught a touchdown, that was when I texted y'all right when he caught a touchdown. I was like, Carson Beck will put up numbers over here in this offense. And that was against Notre Dame, who has a good fucking defense.
Notre Dame has good defense.
Yeah, and like I don't know if I trust the offense, although the Carr guy did seem very composed. And I
like CJ Carr.
I think later, I told you before, he is the grandson. I think he's he's either the grandson or the great grandson of the coach Carr for Michigan. It's like one of their legendary coach. He said he grew up right down the street from Ann Arbor.
I do like CJ Carr, man. I like how he seemed like he wasn't scared of shit of it. In Miami, down, let's go. He took that shit, dude. He ran it. At first time being a quarterback, first time starting, he took that. He gonna be all right.
Especially because his offensive line was getting whipped. His offensive line was getting whipped.
I didn't like Jeremiah Love at all, actually.
Yeah, that's because his offensive line was getting whipped. And they're supposed to be pros.
I want to know why Jeremiah Love constantly want to fucking jump over people all the time.
They said that shit too. I don't know what I was watching. I watched something earlier today that said the same thing. They're like, I know you're a good athlete, but you're gonna get hurt. Stop doing that. Like, what you doing?
Every time he kept fucking running, he want to jump over somebody. Yeah. I was like, man, chill the fuck out.
He reminded me of a YouTuber I used to watch, and like he always on fucking NCAA football. He always want to hurdle people. I'm like, you gonna stop, juke, spin move, do something else.
Hey, why you keep doing that?
He been playing the game too long.
I was screaming. I was like, stop doing that shit.
He been playing the game too long. He spamming the Y button. Playing the game
over and over again.
Spamming triangle,
but fucking jumping over niggas, trying to jump over niggas. Wait, man, somebody gonna bust his ass real quick.
But outside that, looking at Miami's schedule, the toughest game they have is Florida and they get them at home.
Loss.
You get the fuck out. You don't even like Florida. You're just hating. You just said you don't like Florida. They have to go
like Miami, but they're gonna lose that one.
They have to go to SMU, but I don't think SMU is gonna be as good this year. They did return the same quarterback.
Did Miami play Duke?
Not this year. Duke almost not this year. Duke almost beat their ass last year too.
I know.
They pulled away at the end. I was watching that game. Every game I watched, I feel like bad luck. Every Miami game I watched last year ended up being close. Like everyone, they would still pull some of them out. And I was rooting for Alabama in that game. It just wasn't working out. It was not working out.
Fuck Alabama.
I started the game saying Roll Tide and everything. Everybody I rooted for the first two games was bad.
Fuck out of here.
I think those were the only two games that I got wrong. I was rooting for Texas the first game, and I was rooting for Alabama. I think those probably the only two games I got wrong the entire fucking weekend.
I was rooting for Texas, and I was rooting for Florida State the whole time.
At least up the big games, the only ones I got wrong. Like I called Miami to win, and I called LSU to beat Clemson. So I won't wrong with either one of those.
I didn't watch it, but I called LSU again because I was like, I don't like Cade. Miami game. I don't think I bet for that Miami game. No, I didn't bet Miami game.
Now you know I'm in Texas, so I can't call it. I can't do all that. I should have shot you that though. I'll do that for the rest of the weeks. Like shoot some of those parlays. I think some of those are easier at times. All right, the last game that I had on here is not like anything big, just because I know the culture care about it. Fucking Colorado game. I don't know if you watched it. I did, unfortunately.
I watched for Colorado.
Unfortunately, I watched that bullshit. Salter went undefeated at 13-0 on Liberty last year. So I was like, all right, maybe they won't be that bad then. Because I was thinking Colorado.
Liberty.
He can run. So, like, if you can play, you can play. Like, his division is not that great. The Colorado, that division is not that. It's like one of the worst as far as the big schools. I think Utah's going to win that division this year. And so, like, I'm like, all right, they should be able to compete in that one. They were playing Georgia Tech the first game, and I know what Georgia Tech's going to do. They got like a 5-year, 6-year quarterback who runs all the fucking time. He don't throw. King, and that was one of the only ones I got right on that bet I shot you. He had 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
I told
3
you
touchdowns.
Yeah, because I knew his ass was gonna run, because he don't really throw, he just runs. I know that from watching the Miami game last year too, because his ass was just fucking running the whole fucking time on Miami too. They were bringing a different quarterback.
Does, don't he?
Back in the day, they ran the read option. They don't do that anymore. It's a different quarterback. And it's a different coach now. So they had a different quarterback, a young guy last year. I think he must have transferred someplace else that would come in and throw the ball periodically, but King would always run when he was in there. And so I knew he was going to run. But I was like, all right, because they got like 2 turnovers to start the game. Colorado should have won their first touchdown. They got a turnover, short field, scored a touchdown. And it was the quarterback rolling out through a good pass while he was rolling out. I was mad. I had a bet for him to score a touchdown rushing. He could have just ran, but he threw that bitch in there. I was like, motherfucker, run. But anyway, and also the big guy had for a touchdown in that game. He missed him. He was wide open in the end zone. He's only open once, but he overthrew him.
The Simeon?
The Brown guy, yeah, something Brown. Like it was like a broken play. Brown, yeah, it was like a broken play.
I checked those stats. He only had like rushing yards. He barely had any receiving yards.
Yeah, because he missed them. But he was out there. But like this is my biggest issue I have with Colorado. They have a running quarterback now, but they still calling fucking plays like Shador's back there. And I'm like, if you have him, you got to call a read option run shit. That's what I thought it was going to be common sense. He can't do what he did. That was my biggest issue. I thought they were going to suck this year. You can't trust.
So basically, my honest opinion, what you're saying is thinking eventually the freshman's going to start.
If they keep playing like this, yeah.
Because obviously they don't know here. They don't know the freshman. Ain't he a pocket passer?
Yeah, he's like best.
Yeah, he don't know how to do this.
The guy, yeah, he's not. I just assume because you can win, they should play like Castellanos with the guy. He's a little smaller, but you need to call fucking read options and runs. He's not as built as that guy, but he's fast and he can run. And so, like, I just thought naturally they were going to call. He ran for like 100 yards a few times. At Liberty, like call a similar play call to Liberty. Nope, they ran the fucking same offense from Shador last year.
It was Colorado, of course.
Fucking, oh my God. Like if Deion doesn't adjust that and call an offense that's more suitable for that quarterback, they're not going to win.
I heard
the defense played a lot better, though. I'll say that.
Did they not have like 2 timeouts or something and they were not doing timeouts?
Didn't use any of them the last drive. Ended up with a Hail Mary, yeah.
Wow.
But it's also because they were just throwing the ball. They can't that is not how they're going to win this year. They ran the ball a lot better. The offensive line looked better. It looked like a more talented, complete team around them.
Everybody else.
The defense looked a hell of a lot better out there because Georgia Tech didn't even start scoring until like, man. If they had 2 turnovers early in the game, I think they had 3 turnovers early in the game. Colorado scored a touchdown on one of them early on, and then they just kept punting. The defense would stop them. They just kept punting it back to them. Defense stopping, kept punting it back to them, and eventually Georgia Tech started running the ball down their fucking throat. They were just always on the field because the quarterback couldn't stay out there.
Does it seem good to you?
No.
They can't even Georgia fucking Tech.
No, like, and they Georgia Tech beat Miami. So I'm not gonna say there's any shame in that, but watching the game, how
you
they
keep talking like Miami got down motherfucking championship team or something.
Last year, offense was still on point. The motherfuckers still dropped 50 on people a lot. So offensively, yeah, Miami's defense we know they were jack shit. That coordinator got fired. The new guy looked a lot better. the new defensive coordinator looked a lot better. The other guy was very predictable. On Duke, every third down was man to man, and they would just run some fucking cross action. I was so pissed off watching that fucking game.
Fucking him up.
He was just running some cross action.
Let's fucking go.
That shit was pissing me off. All right. But anyway, I guess that's it for college. Hell, I didn't expect college to take that much, but the games did happen. So that was cool to actually talk about some shit that actually happened.